Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web. And RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
And DFWCatholic.org, spreading the truth, one city at a time.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Michael Voris, filling in for Vic Faust. First up today, the Pope and the media. Pope Benedict is laying the blame for moral corruption squarely at the feet of the media. Speaking last week near Rome's famous Spanish Steps, the Pope said that pollution of society's moral environment is as dangerous to the human person as pollution of the natural environment. He said, quote, "Hearts harden and thoughts darken with a daily diet of the news media in which evil is recounted, repeated, amplified, accustoming us to the most horrible things, making us become insensitive and, in some way, intoxicating us because the negative is not fully disposed of and accumulates day after day," end quote. Because of this, the Pope said, people need Mary, who with her presence speaks to us of God, reminds us of the victory of grace over sin, and induces us to hope. The mass media, he said, tends to make us feel like spectators, as if evil regards only certain others and certain things could never happen to us. The Pope meets with Irish Churchmen. Pope Benedict will issue a pastoral letter to the people of Ireland in the wake of the recently published report showing decades of abuse of children in church-run institutions. Last week, the Pope summoned senior Irish bishops to Rome for an explanation. He listened to their concerns and talked about the deeply troubling events that have taken place in Ireland for many years. The Vatican said the Pope is deeply upset and will be taking strong remedial action. The Pope personally went over details of the report and was deeply disturbed and distressed by its contents. Pope John Paul II's shooter is to be released and baptized. Mehmet Ali Aja, the gunman who tried to kill Pope John Paul II nearly 30 years ago, is to be released from a Turkish prison in January after 28 years in Italian and Turkish jails. He plans to pray at the late pontiff's tomb in Rome. Aja served nearly 20 years of a life sentence at a high-security prison in Italy after he shot Pope John Paul II in St. Peter's Square on May 13, 1981, wounding him in the abdomen. Aja, a Muslim who was forgiven by the Pope at a meeting in his prison cell just after Christmas 1983, announced 2 years ago that he had converted to Christianity. He said in May, quote, "Once freed, I would like to be baptized. I would like to do it in front of media from all over the world in the Vatican, exactly in front of St. Peter's Square, the place where I struck Pope Wojtyła." Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Support RealCatholicTV.com, spread the faith, and buy great Christmas presents for your family and friends all at the same time. Visit the RealCatholicTV.com shop for copies of our premium programs. Learn more about your faith with great videos such as The One True Faith or St. Michael's Basic Training. Be strengthened with talks by powerful speakers such as Michael Voris, Father Edward Perrone, and Dr. Robert Fastigi. As well as DVDs, CDs, books, and more, you can also buy gift subscriptions to RealCatholicTV.com. Know someone who would enjoy RealCatholicTV.com? Well, buy a subscription for them. It's quick and it's easy.
The abortion pill gets final approval in Italy. The sale of the abortion pill RU486 has been given final approval in Italy despite protests from the Vatican and the government in the largely Catholic country. Unlike in other European countries, the pill will be administered solely in hospitals. The pill was originally approved by the country's pharmaceuticals agency in late July, but the move prompted a parliamentary inquiry. Italy is one of the last European states to make it available. And finally today, bishops blast the U.S. Senate abortion decision. The nation's Catholic bishops are severely disappointed by the recent Senate vote to defeat an amendment that would have prevented abortion being paid for with tax dollars under the health care legislation. However, they stopped short of asking senators to defeat the bill itself, holding out hope, they say, that the legislation will ultimately not fund abortions. Cardinal Francis George, president of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, said the Senate is ignoring, quote, the will of the American people in failing to incorporate long-standing prohibitions on federal funding for abortion and plans that include abortion, end quote. I'm Michael Voris. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure and tune into The Vortex today, where we talk about something special for Christmas. That's it for now. As usual, be sure and tell your friends about us, and God bless.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium. CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world. CatholicUnderground.com, the podcast about our Catholic faith and new media.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.